Hello, Las Vegas, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Golf at the Park, Angel Park's weekly interview show. I want to thank you for tuning in, liking, subscribing, commenting. We really appreciate it. Also want you to check out these last couple of weeks, and it's going to be a 4-week series where we're doing Angel Park Insights with Kareem and Darden, our new superintendent, going over all of the overseeding procedures that are going on right now. So thank you for tuning into those. And on that note, I'd like to welcome Alex Andersen to the show.
Thank you.
It is Andersen, right?
Yes.
I looked that up. I did my research. It's Alex Babes Golf, yes. So we're going to get into Babes Golf in a little bit, but it's Alex's show. So let's start right at the beginning. How'd you get introduced to golf? And if it was later in life, what's a little bit of your background?
Well, a little bit of my background is I actually had worked at a golf course back in 2000. It was before I moved to San Diego, so it was over 11 years ago. And
where were you before you went to San Diego?
I was in Hollister, California.
Okay. And how'd you get your golf job?
It was when I was going to junior college. I just applied at the local golf course, and I first started working in lodging, and then I got promoted to the executive office, and we would do like member billing and HR stuff. So I worked there for 4 years and had zero interest in golf.
So worked at a golf course, but never really interested.
No.
Got it.
No.
Yep.
So no one in my family golfs. Had zero interest. And when I moved to San Diego, I was dating someone who he loved golf. And I had went home back to Hollister to visit my family, and there's nothing to do there. So I told him, like, well, we can go to the golf course I used to work at. And so that was the first time I went out, and I remember I hit a driver like straight down the middle and instantly was like hooked, and I thought it was so awesome. And it kind of brought me back to, I used to play softball growing up. Mm-hmm. So it kind of gave me that same feeling of like, hitting a good
a lot of baseball and softball players transition. Did you find that hard with your swing, having to adjust it? Because they are different.
I'm still working on that.
Still working on it.
Yeah.
7 years later? You
yes,
started
7
years ago?
Uh-huh.
All right, so take us back then. So you got into it pretty quick. You liked it and wanted to play more.
Instantly, yeah. So we played all the time together. He taught me a lot of what, he's the one that taught me how to golf and all the etiquette and all that stuff. So we played together for a year, and then when we broke up, I still wanted to continue playing golf.
But you lost your partner.
I lost my partner, and I just started telling all my friends, like, you need to start playing golf. It's so fun. And I started convincing all my girlfriends to come with me to the range, because I didn't want to go by myself. I was intimidated. And so every week I had set up like just a time to go to the range and meet everyone. And
so you were setting up your own women's only almost meetups.
Yeah. This is before Babes Golf. And then I realized, golf needs something like this. Like, we all feel comfortable coming together with each other, and what's out there like this for women. And I just like couldn't find anything. So I kind of took it upon myself to start my own thing.
Does that start 7 years ago, where you really start trying to turn it into a local group, a women's chapter of something?
About 6 years ago. So This is probably like 2017 is when I was like, all these girls who are trying golf, they're total babes because it's not easy. And I ended up calling it Babes Golf, and I went with it. And like a few months after I was doing those range meetups, we decided to throw a nighttime golf tournament, and we did it at Mission Bay in San Diego, and it's like a night golf course. It's really fun, like little muni, and it was a great time. Like, we had all like males and females come out, and it was just like a big party, and I was like, this is so fun. So that's kind of like the start of Babes Golf. And then I would just reach out to local coaches and stuff, and ask them to help me start doing clinics so we can
so you'd have instructors out there.
We have instructors, yeah. And so I'd start doing clinics, and then we'd get girls together to do golf outings together. And I did that like casually, like events for a few years until COVID. And I was so passionate about what I was doing with Babes Golf and getting so many girls involved. And I just like, I want to do this full time. So during COVID, I actually got laid off from my full-time job. And I decided that I was going to sit down and just go all in on it. And so in 2021 is when we launched membership for San Diego. And
because golf is now booming, so you had already started something everyone's interest in it due to COVID.
COVID was honestly the best thing that ever happened to Babes Golf.
It's the best. It's arguably one of the best things that's happened to golf since Tiger.
Yeah, and it was perfect because I spent a few years like trying to convince people to golf, and then COVID happened and everyone started getting into it. I was like, hey, I have this thing. I've been come check out what I'm doing. And it was just like the perfect timing.
It starts in the San Diego area.
San Diego.
And it just starts growing.
Yeah.
So how many members do you have around 2021?
2021, we had about, or in 2023, probably about 75 members in San Diego. And one of my friends who I actually met on the golf course, she used to be a bev cart girl. Her name's Sally. And
hey,
Sally. She's so much fun, and she saw what I was doing, and she was like, I'm moving to Orange County. I would love to start this Babes Golf thing up there. Like, I think it would do really well.
So that's when it starts to grow from just San Diego to Orange County.
Yeah. So we talked about it for a few months, and finally she's like, I'm ready to go all in. Like, let's do this. I'm like, all right. Like, it was really hard for me to like let go and like just like trust that someone was going to take care of my baby. So I finally just decided, if I want this thing to grow, like my vision's always to have Babes Golf everywhere. So I finally just like, all right, let's do this. And we set it up and we launched last year. And actually it's been a year and a half now. And she's done such an amazing job. Like the chapters, it's funny, they're very different, but I feel like it's because of the people that host them, and no matter what, we're all there for the same reasons. Like, and it's good vibes and everyone's so encouraging, and she's just done such a good job bringing people together. And so yeah, Sally did the Orange County, and then Coach Natalie at Dobson
has started the Arizona one.
Yeah, she reached out to me. She's like, hey, she was at Topgolf at the time, and she's like, I'm actually going to this golf course called Dobson Ranch. You should look it up. It would be such a perfect place for Babes Golf. And I was like, okay. So
they're doing a lot of what we're trying to do in Mesa and Phoenix.
Yeah, very similar vibes, like just a fun atmosphere, perfect for someone that's just starting out in golf, or anyone. It's for all people. But she was like, I'm going to be working there, and I would love to like try to do a Babes Golf event. And I'm like, all right, let's try it out. And went to visit Dobson. I was like, this place is so cool. Like, I want a Dobson to be everywhere, because if they were, like, Babes Golf would be everywhere. And so we went and did a pop-up, and we had like local vendors come out, and we had 75 women come out, which was really cool. And Natalie did such an awesome job. I was like, okay, I can really see Babes Golf here in Arizona. And I mean, Arizona is like all golf, A
lot of golf.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's a huge opportunity here. And we decided to launch that chapter. Last year is our Babes' birthday's coming up for Arizona. It's October 26th.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So it's almost been 1 year there, and it's done.
So when they started, and then when they start growing, what kind of events are you running? Is it local? Is it how many times a month are you getting together? And it's probably different things.
Yeah. So it's funny because the Arizona chapter has actually been a little bit more challenging for me. We have the interest, like so many people want to do it, but also we're dealing with the weather. So, like in San Diego and Orange County, we can golf year round. And we don't have to think about it being 120 degrees. Right. So that's been very interesting. So the way that Babes Golf set up is we do at least 3 events a month. So we do 1 golf outing, 1 range meetup, and 1 social. And so like that's like required by the reps to host at least 3 events a month. So that gets challenging when it's really hot during the summer in Arizona. So we've had to do just like things indoors and stuff, which is fine. Like our socials in San Diego and Orange County, we do them at indoor golf simulator places. And a lot of times the girls are just there to socialize,
Right.
So that's the biggest part, is like we love just hanging out with each other. And like, even if golf's not included, like we're just happy to all be together.
And you guys travel a lot. We met when you were doing an event here, when you were coming out, and I had reached out over social media. So how much traveling have you done, and where are some of the places you've been outside of Southern California and Arizona?
Wow. Well, one of my favorite places I've been is Desante Bay, and I did that with Tori Totliss. She's a huge, I don't know if you know about Tori, but she's huge women's golf influencer, and she does her own golf tournaments, and I've actually participated in a few. She does a desert classic out in Arizona every single year. 200 women come out from all over the country, and so she invited us to come to Desante Bay, and that was amazing.
And where's Desante Bay?
Laredo.
Oh, okay.
If I'm saying that right.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was amazing. I
Cool.
want to go back. Yeah. So we did 3 days of golf there, which I'm more of the type of person that likes to do like 1 or 2 days of golf, and playing 3 days in a row was rough, but it was like, I will never forget it. It was amazing.
So it's turned into a monetized company at this point. Take me back through that journey about, and also how social media starts to become a big key to your growth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
When did you start incorporating your Instagram and all of your different online stuff?
The Instagram was right away. So every time someone comes to Babes Golf, we always ask them, like, how did you find out from us? And probably 80% of the time it's from Instagram.
Right.
So that's been huge, because Instagram's a free marketing tool. And so I've done a lot of it. It's been word of mouth and social media. So that's been really cool. And we're trying to up our TikTok game.
Yep.
Not there, but
well, it's interesting how all the different platforms work, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're playing with different platforms with this long form content on YouTube, and I really feel like this is going to be, in the next decade, one of the ways that the business is driven.
Yeah.
And I'm excited, and I'm excited about all of the ways that everyone keeps helping each other out and collaborating and growing with each other. We have Tropicana Golf Club out of Southern California that's just opened a chapter here.
Yeah.
The way that they did that is they had a couple of guys in town who were interested, and then that's what helped start them. And since Natalie was that in Phoenix, why don't we talk about what your steps are here, because we're interested in helping bring a Babes chapter to Las Vegas. We have a lot of female golfers. What are your plans, and how do you start this process?
Yeah, so
I know it's starting right now.
Yeah, so we always like to do a pop-up and kind of gauge like the interest, and during those pop-ups, you just meet so many people, and like, this is awesome. Like, how can I help? And like, that's really where it starts, it's like meeting people and networking, and like, who has the time to put into this, like who, is good at event planning and like being social and like really getting out there and like encouraging people. And it's easy, and like people are interested and people are going to come, but it's also the person that's hosting and stuff. Like, it's a lot of work.
There's a lot of time to invest in it.
Yeah,
for sure. All the different aspects. And I was going to ask you a little bit about that. Everyone is pushing content out of your group. Is everybody kind of doing it on their own? Do you have directors or producers? Because you're all still growing as content producers at the same time as you're growing as a golf club, right?
Yeah.
Do any of you approach it differently, or is it just kind of individual, each one, how you work on your page?
Yeah, I mean, it's like having a million little micro influencers. Like, girls love sharing like their golf stories, and it's cool because that's what Babes Golf is all about. It's create your own golf story. And so they all have their own ways of doing it. And what's cool about, I know our TikTok's not very good, but so many people have found us on TikTok because girls will come to our events and do kind of like a review, and like people find us that way, So, and I mean, you occasionally will get like influencers that come to the events, and all they have to do
that
is
always helps.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've done. I don't really have a strategy on like how we do our Instagram. We just like share all our events, and we have so much fun, and people see that, and it's just genuine.
And there's a lot of content, right? It comes out quite a bit.
Yeah, I have 80,000 photos on my phone. So
wow.
I actually need someone to just like take all the
Organize
stuff.
It.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the next step.
Yeah.
So as you've gotten better, what kind of have you turned into a gearhead? What are you playing? What clubs do you like, don't like? What's in your bag?
Yeah, I recently decided that it was time to hire a professional to help me with my golf swing. I went and played up in Monterey. I played at the Preserve, and I've been waiting to play there for a few years now. And I got the invite, and I went out, and I could not hit the ball that day. It was
frustrating.
It was very depressing. So it was either I literally said that day, like, I'm going to quit golf. Like, I was so frustrated.
Oh, no.
But I'm like, that's not an option. Like, I can't quit golf, So I decided to come back, and we've been working with an awesome coach in San Diego. My representative, Bernadette, in San Diego, she works at a golf course, Twin Oaks, and their head golf pro there, Travis, he's just like, he's the vibe. Like, he's so fun. Like, he wants everyone to have a great time. Like, yeah, we're learning golf and it's frustrating, but like, just have fun with it. So I just saw like how fun he was. I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. Like, I'm going to go get lessons from him. And I've had 3 lessons with him, and then I'm not slicing anymore. I'm hitting the ball consistently.
What are a few of the tips or drills that you're working on?
Well, it goes back to basics. So he honestly fixed my grip and my stance, and basically that was a huge part of it. And I mean, before I was slicing a lot. Now I have the correct swing. Like, I'm keeping my club face closed, and so that's been
that improvement's got to be fun.
It's so fun because it seems effortless at this point. Before, I felt like I was trying so hard, and now it's just like the club's doing all the work because I'm doing it correctly.
So I'm guessing you haven't been fitted, or you would have mentioned that.
I've
or
been
you
fitted.
Have now been fitted.
Yes. So I've been fitted by Callaway, and I love my clubs. I'm playing the Paradigms right now, and yeah, I really, I mean, I love my Callaways.
How competitive are you? Or are you strictly out there for fun?
I'm getting very competitive with myself. So I actually played Aliante the other day, and on the front 9 I shot a 45, and the back 9 I shot a 38.
Wow.
So I'm like, it's possible to break 80. Like, I can do it. And
so
then
the chase is for 80 right now.
Yes. Yeah. My lowest score is at 82. So I'm just like right there.
Yeah, you'll get there.
I'm right there.
It'll be special. That's fun.
Just, if I can get my putting down, and it'll change it, you know? So, and then we played Las Vegas Country Club the next day, and I shot a 94. So I'm kind of like all over the place right now.
It's a harder golf course.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, I know I'll get there.
That's so fun. What about clothing? We've had every single female on the show talk about women's golf clothing and attire, and some of the struggles it's had up until recently. The general answer is it's starting to get better. Have you noticed that? Or do you have favorites? Do you have frustrations? What do you think about all that?
No, I feel like everyone's doing such a great job. So many people have just dived in, and it's like, we're going to make our own clothes. We have a Babes Golf member in Orange County. She started her own golf brand. It's really cute.
Let's shout it out.
Coconods.
Coconods.
Yep. It's really cute. She's actually about to come out with her second line. And it makes you feel girly and fun. And we also are partners with a golf shop in Scottsdale, and it's called Shop Alley, or Alexandria Collections. And she does such a good job on sourcing women's golf brands from all over. And they have the cutest stuff. Like, I got this top from there. Like, my whole closet's from there. But they carry a lot of golf brands, so it's really cool because you can go through and like really find out stuff that you really love. And IB Cool is like one of my favorite golf brands. It's super light and just flattering. So I think people are doing a really good job at making golf clothes cute now.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us some of your stories. Tell us a story or two of your favorite times on the golf course recently that you can remember, or something that when you get together with friends, you talk about, oh, remember last year when this happened. Do you have anything like that off the top of your head? Favorite golf stories?
I mean, I feel like every time I go out with Babes Golf, it's my favorite time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have so much fun. Well, I'll talk about our Babecations.
Yeah, let's do that.
So Babecation is our annual girls golf trip. And the first year we ever did it was in Las Vegas. And we stayed at Circa, played Legacy Golf Club.
So the first year was how long ago?
3 years ago.
Yeah, so let's talk about them. How many women went on that first trip?
The first trip we had 20 girls gone.
Wow, that's big. That's a big number to all go out of town together.
Yeah, to coordinate to go to Vegas. It was so fun. That was a great time. Last year, and then the year before, we did Scottsdale, and we had 30 girls for that, but 40 that golfed, because that was right when we launched our Arizona chapter. So some of the girls lived there, so they didn't stay. We stayed at Mountain Shadows and played that golf course. Really fun short course. So we had more girls play in the golf tournament than stay. That was so much fun. We did it on Halloween weekend, and everyone dressed up as caddies, and we went out.
Fun. That's cool.
Yeah. So Babecation is always a day of golf, a day of lounging by the pool, hanging out.
I was going to ask how that went. Is that structured to where you don't lose people throughout the couple of days? You have different things that you're doing?
Yeah, we have a whole itinerary.
Yeah.
So it's just really keeping the girls together and just having the most fun. This year we did Palm Desert. Fun. And that was really fun. We changed it up this year by adding in a pickleball clinic. So we did one day of golf, and then the next day everyone met and did pickleball, and that was really fun.
Liked that?
It was fun because selfishly, I started getting into pickleball, and I was I don't have anyone to play with, so I'm gonna get all these girls a lesson, and maybe people will want to continue it, So it's funny because now we have our pickleball Tuesdays, and we have a group for that, and so yeah, I guess I like to convince people to do things.
That's fun. Well, it's working, right?
Yeah.
I read somewhere where pickleball and golf are the two sports that benefited the most from the pandemic, and I that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, getting active, getting outside.
Yeah, I mean they're turning old malls into pickleball courts.
There's been discussions with our new ownership here that we may end up with pickleball.
You guys
should.
That's
something that we definitely have in the thought process of evolving into as well.
We'll start a Babes pickleball,
which is
league.
Fun. Yeah, right. So what are some of your frustrations that you've had over the last 7 years getting into golf? Have there been things that you wish were different or that you would change about golf?
I think probably my biggest frustration is the maybe access to golf, or finding people who understand what you're doing. Some people totally see it and they're I want to be involved in this, and other people are just don't really care.
Yeah.
So that's been frustrating, but I feel it's getting a lot better. You guys have been awesome. Dobson's awesome. It's just finding those people who see the vision and they're all in on it, So that's been a struggle. But yeah, I don't know.
What are your favorite things about golf?
All the people that I've met, for sure. I think about it now, my life is completely different, and I don't even know where I would be if I didn't start golfing. Golf has been my career now, and all my friends that I have are through golf, and all my partnership, everything is just from golf.
It's become part of your identity.
Yeah.
So
I'm very grateful for the sport, and it's made me growing up. I was never the person that was I know exactly what I want to do when I grow up. I always I had so many different jobs and trying to find my way. After I graduated high school, I went in and I was maybe I want to be a dental assistant, and I went and got my dental hygienist, and then I got my dental assisting license, and I'm did that for a few months, and I was not happy, and I ended up going back to school. and I got my esthetician license. So I started doing like facials and stuff, and I did that for 6 months. I was like, okay, it's not my thing. Like I had always like wanted to own my own business, and I just didn't know what. So I went back to school and pursued my business degree in entrepreneurship and business management. And it's funny, I look back now, and the one thing that stuck out to me the most when I was in school was one of my professors say, if you're going to start a business, you got to make sure that you're passionate about it. And I sat there and I was like, what am I passionate about? Like at this point, I hadn't started golfing yet, and I didn't really have like a huge passion for anything. And then, then shortly after that, I fell in love with golf. And
yeah, now that's the key to running a successful business. So let's talk about that. Running Babes Golf now is your career. Take me through an average work day or an average work week, because I know it's not just all out playing golf and having fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. Lots of meetings. We're constantly setting up meetings, talking to people about partnerships and stuff. More recently, I've been hiring interns to help with like the operations stuff, marketing, and membership services, because now we have over 200 members, and just like answering those emails and like making sure that we're staying on top of that. And so I've been getting better at like, I went from just being myself, and now it's like, now I'm managing people, so my roles completely changed, and I'm learning along the way. And it's been really cool. We actually hosted our first team retreat this year, and all my representatives came together, and we literally just like planned out the rest of the year. And
so what'd you do? How'd you do that? Did you go somewhere?
Yeah, so we went to, we were in Arizona, and we had one of the reps, her parents have a big Airbnb in Mesa, Arizona, so we stayed there. It was really fun. And we like just did roundtables like every day, sat down and talked about like what our goals are, what are the struggles that everyone's dealing with right now. And we also set up a system, because before like the girls were texting me like, I have this event on this date, and I want this many people, this is how much it costs, like, and I'm getting like a million text messages from like all my different reps. I'm like, there's got to be a better way to like set up a system where like, everyone's communicating on there, and we're not like losing text messages or, translation of like what's going on. So Katherine, she's like my best friend, and Katherine
happens to be sitting
Katherine's here.
Hi, Katherine.
She is a boss babe. She does operations for small businesses, and she's just so good at like organizing things. I'm not the type of person that's very organized, because my
creatives
brain
normally aren't. Right?
Yeah, my brain's always all over the place with all the ideas, and she's just been the best at like, this is what you need to do. This, So she got us all set up with a system where all our girls are on there. They can post all their events, like all the information's there, and then they can assign like, okay, Alex, like we need you to prove this, So it's cool. We got that going, which helps keep us like way more organized and on top of things. So
are you guys going to do your own shop, your own stuff?
Yes.
Have you already?
We do. We have apparel. We have the Babes Golf Shop on our website. But right now it's just like I haven't put very much effort into it, and I really want to. Like
that's one of the next steps.
That's the next step. I really just wanted to build the community, and that's the most important thing to me, is like the people. So, and they love the swag. Like every time I do come out with something, everyone just like buys it right away. But I know that we would probably do very well. I just haven't had the.
Well, I think you're doing it the right way too. Almost like a grassroots effort. And what does that look like? So Vegas is kind of in its infancy stages now. Do you have women reaching out to you from other markets yet?
Oh yeah. We get messages daily of like, I wish Babes Golf was here. I wish it was here. Like all the time.
So are there plans to, because you said you want it to be nationwide. That's your ultimate vision.
Yeah. We've talked about it. So my vision was to have chapters everywhere. And then after launching my third chapter, I realized like how much it is, So just coming up with like other ideas, I think like the apparel would actually really help push it out there and get women in other cities to start like their own groups of babes golf, my next plan actually is to do pop-ups. So we're looking for courses that are like Dobson and like here, just to do pop-ups and get all those women to come together and meet each other, have a day of like meeting each other and then getting them to meet like monthly or whatever. So pop-ups is the next thing. We definitely are going to start a chapter here in Vegas because there's just been so much interest, and it's close enough to like Arizona and California.
Right. All these commutes are pretty quick.
Yeah. So that will be the next one. And then we'll see where we go from there.
How fun. So I know you're on a little trip today. What's coming up on your babes calendar? Do you guys have anything fun coming up soon?
Yeah. So we're actually out here planning our Babes Take Masters weekend, and it's going to be Masters weekend in April 2024. And we're planning a co-ed golf tournament and stay. So we're partnering up with Circa Resort and Casino, and then we want to do our golf tournament here at Angel Park.
So you heard it here first. We're looking at a Masters event, Babes co-ed event.
Yes.
Which would be really, really fun. So I'm excited. Let's get that done.
For sure.
That's and our chapter will be hopefully up and running thanks to all of you women watching this that are going to, I know you're going to want to be involved in this too. So that's fun. Really, really exciting stuff. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, Alex. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
That's the end of the first segment. So we're all finished. I think unless there's anything you wanted to add. Can you think of anything?
No.
Did we mention anybody? Forget anybody?
I just think that every girl should start golfing. There's
your message right there. Every girl should start golfing.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. If we get nothing out of these shows, it's little moments of magic like that. That's awesome. All right, the second half of the interview is called our Par 5 of questions. We ask the same 5 questions every week, get different answers. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right, what's your favorite golf movie?
Favorite golf movie is Happy Gilmore.
Okay, why?
It's just a good classic golf movie.
Were you a Sandler fan first?
Sometimes he bothers me, but that movie is it's hilarious. It's so good.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Question number 2, what's your favorite club in your bag and why? And I know when we mentioned this earlier today, you said it changes. So have you had one that's been the worst or the best for a while, and what is it now? Well,
my favorite clubs right now are my 11 wood and my 7 wood.
So you play all woods.
Yeah. So I ended up getting 11 wood because I couldn't hit my 6 iron. Now that my golf swing is better, I can hit my 11 iron, but I still love the 11 wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really fun.
That's fun. So you hit that for most of your shots X amount out?
Like 140.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Question number 3. What's your dream foursome? So if you could pick any 3 people, alive or dead, to play a round of golf with, who would you pick? And where would you play?
First of all, I would pick my grandma.
That's a great answer.
Because, she actually worked for Slag, like the lock company, when she, her whole life. And she was, one of the only woman sales rep. And she used to tell me all the time that, the men would go out and all play golf. And so I didn't have any interest. I would just go to the spa, And so she told me that. And then, after she passed away, we found all these photos of her. It was her and her women's golf club. And it was 100 women. And I was like, wait a minute. I didn't know she actually golfed. And I didn't know that until afterwards. I don't know if she just, forgot about that time, but that was really cool to find.
Yeah, co-ed golf in those generations was rare. It didn't mean that women weren't playing. It just, they didn't play together very often. Right?
Yeah.
That's something that's changed throughout the years.
Yeah.
Wow, so she was a golfer.
She was a golfer.
That's so
She
fun.
forgot to mention that little part, that she was like part of a women's golf club.
Well, we've never had grandmother as an answer, so that's a first, and I love it. Great answer. Who are your other two?
The other two, I would say Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
He's always, I mean, I love his comebacks.
Our most common answer. He is golf.
Yeah. And then I'd say my third would just be Jim Carrey, because I know he'd make me laugh the entire time.
That's the first Jim Carrey, but not the first comedian. We get a lot of answers for people to make them laugh on the golf course, and Jim Carrey's a good one.
You know, it's funny now that I'm saying that. My grandma, like, hated Jim Carrey. Like, she thought he was so dumb. And that would be hilarious.
That is funnier the more you think about it.
Yeah.
Where are you taking him to play? Where's your dream course?
Let's go to, man, there's so many places. St. Andrews. Why not?
St. Andrews. That's a common answer. And that got me thinking. We didn't talk much, so we're going to back up a little bit. We didn't talk about how you consume golf. Are you a YouTube person, or do you watch the tournaments or the events? Do you have favorite players?
I watch the tournaments, yes. Not really YouTube. When I first started golfing, I was like looking at YouTube videos of people's swings and like trying to analyze them, how the golf swing's supposed to look. So that's like as far as YouTube stuff. But I love watching documentaries on golfers, and I just love I love going to the tournaments. Like, we go to a lot of them.
Yeah, you've been to some, right?
Yep. I love going to the golf tournaments. It's so fun. But yeah.
Now, do they give you media passes, or have you worked that out through your company, or how's that work to when you get to go to golf tournaments?
Yeah, so for the most part, we get them through. So we're a club of the SCGA. So we're official club of them and Arizona Golf Association. So they always give our club tickets. So we'll go to like Farmers. We've gone to US Open, Waste Management.
That's
so
great.
yeah.
Tell me about the Waste Management.
Oh my gosh, don't go on a Saturday. We went during the weekend. It was so fun, but Saturday was just like impossible to like get up close to see the golfers. Like, it's a shit show. There's so many drunk people.
Yeah.
There's no service, and like, yeah, I won't go again. I told myself last year that I wouldn't go on a Saturday, but then all the girls came in from like Orange County and San Diego, and they really wanted to go Saturday, so I went.
You went, and then you just
and then I
didn't have a
reminded
good
myself,
time.
like, no, it was so much better during the week.
Yeah,
So
that's fun.
Yeah.
Question number 4, what's your aiming fluid on the golf course? So you two are going to go play golf later after this. What will you be drinking in your golf cart?
We're always drinking White Claw,
White Claws?
sponsored by White Claw.
Oh, you're sponsored by White Claw. We should talk about some of your sponsors, too, because we want to make sure to put them down in the description below, so you'll have links to all of them.
Yeah.
So who's all sponsoring you, other than White Claw?
White Claw is our biggest one. We've had a few other ones. We have, it's more partnerships than sponsors. Like, White Claw is like our first big sponsorship.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
That's exciting.
we have some things that we're working on right now, but we'll wait to talk about those ones.
Oh, how fun. Well,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
So you're drinking White Claw.
White
and
Claw.
then obviously when you're out here, a lot of water, or are you a Gatorade person?
Drink a ton of water, always hydrate. And right now this is a John Daly. It's not my usual go-to, but it sounded delicious this morning.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then I always love tequila.
Tequila.
I will drink a tequila soda or a ranch water or a Skinny Marg any day.
Tequila was my favorite. I cannot blame you there. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Question number 5. Let's talk a little bit about your frustration with the game. Have you ever broken a club? Have you ever thrown a club? What do you tell yourself, or what do you try to tell yourself when you're getting angry on the golf course or frustrated with yourself?
I've never broke a club or thrown a club. It's not very classy.
No, it's certainly not very classy. It's something that some people have to really embarrassingly admit, for sure.
Yeah. I've seen people do it, but it just makes it so awkward. So I would never want to do that. But I do get angry. Like, I drop F-bombs all the time, or I've gotten better at it. I try to like keep it in and just like it. I feel like when you get angry and stuff, it really affects the mood of everyone around you. And I don't want to do that. So I just walk it off.
We've had a few people who have said that the reason that they try not to swear is because they have their round brought down when other people do, and they don't want to do that. And that's the best answer maybe I've heard yet, because they do go hand in hand in golf. We were mentioning that earlier too. And there are a ton of ways. I love that you just try to walk it off. I don't think we've had that answer yet.
Yeah, it's funny because Katherine and I always say, like, I'm going to take a walk. And we just, like, don't get back in the golf cart. You grab your putter or your chipper and you just walk and you think about what you just did, but then you're thinking about the next shot and it's like, it's okay. Just brush it off. It's a whole new game the next shot.
That's a great answer. Thank you so much for coming on. Did you have fun?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, and you're going to go play golf today, and we'll be back next week with another episode, so make sure you tune in. Check out Babes Golf and all the other links down below. And until next time, hit them straight from your friends at Angel Park. Cheers.